What's up, YouTube? Back again for another video, and today I will be ranking. I've done a couple ranking videos of favorite albums from certain bands before, but today I will be ranking my personal top 5 favorite Led Zeppelin albums of all time. And I've said this before, that I think Led Zeppelin's probably the greatest hard rock band in history, maybe the greatest rock band in history, so I mean, they're definitely one of them, and they have so many great albums, and this is just my own personal top 5 list, and this list is pretty. Some of the other ones were a lot harder to do, not because Led Zeppelin doesn't have a lot of great albums, but just because there's some of their albums, 4 or 5 or so of their albums stand out so much more over other albums. So the only ones that could kind of be interchangeable would be number 5, and then the one that just missed my top 5, but I'll get into that shortly. But I'll go ahead and get right into it here. So as you can see here, I don't have everyone on vinyl, but number 5 on my list, 1975's Physical Graffiti. This is the double album, of course. Has a lot of, one side of it's pretty much just solely unreleased material, and that's why this album's only at number 5. It's got a lot of great songs on it, but it does have quite a few filler songs in my opinion. But some of the songs on here are just great. I mean, you know, Custard Pie, The Rover, In My Time of Dying, Houses of the Holy, Trampled Underfoot, Kashmir is one of the most epic songs in rock history. In the Light is one of my absolute favorites. It's my second favorite on this album. I mean, 10 Years Gone is my favorite on this album, and maybe the most underrated song they ever put out. 10 Years Gone is an absolutely masterpiece. If you haven't heard that, you need to listen to it. I mean, Night Flight's good. The Wonton song, I actually like it. So there's a lot of good songs on this album, but there is quite a bit of filler on this album as well. So I think if this album was a single-sided album, it'd be probably a lot higher. But Physical Graffiti is my number 5 favorite Led Zeppelin album. Coming in number 4, their debut album, Led Zeppelin I. This album consists of a lot of mainly covers and or songs that they pretty much were influenced by or ripped off, some people would say. But this album is absolutely great. It's groundbreaking, revolutionary style, you know. I mean, this is a great album. It's got some of their biggest songs on it. It's just awesome. Good Times, Bad Times, Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You, Dazed and Confused, Your Time's Gonna Come, Communication Breakdown, How Many More Times. This album's great. Just so great. It's a mixture nobody had ever heard, the blues mixture with the hard rock style of Led Zeppelin before, and this is just revolutionary, groundbreaking album, as I said. But I mean, this album's just great. Everybody knows that. Led Zeppelin 1's awesome. That's my 4th favorite Led Zeppelin album. Coming in at number 3, we have what is considered to be their biggest album, maybe their best album. That'd be Led Zeppelin IV, released in 1971. This album it's technically called Untitled, but I mean, obviously most people call it Led Zeppelin IV. But this album has pretty much their biggest songs in history on it. Most of them, anyways. I mean, it's just great. It's got, I mean, some of the songs on here are just self-explanatory. Black Dog, Rock and Roll, Stairway to Heaven, I mean, When the Levee Breaks, Going to California, forgetting one, Missy Mountain Hop. I mean, there's just so many great songs on this album, and everybody knows these songs. It's absolutely iconic beyond words. I mean, this album's great. It's overplayed, and it's not my favorite by no means, but it's still great, and it's at number 3 on my list. So, Led Zeppelin IV is awesome. Coming in number 2, their second album, Led Zeppelin II, released in 1969. This album is, a lot of people consider this to be their best album, and I can definitely see why. This album's absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. That's just what it is. It's got, I mean, the songs on here, every single song on this album is good. Most are really, really good and great. A Whole Lot of Love, What Is and What Should Never Be, the Lemon song is my favorite on here, Thank You, Heartbreaker, Living Loving Maid, Moby Dick, Ramble On, Bring It On Home. Everything on here is just absolutely classic beyond words. Led Zeppelin II is so great. Some of the most recognizable songs in rock history on it, and it's just awesome. So that's my number 2 favorite Zeppelin album. And coming in at number 1, my favorite Led Zeppelin album of all time, Houses of the Holy, released in 1973. I just did a review video on this not long ago, and this album is just absolutely insanely good. Every song on here is great, besides one song that's still good. But I mean, this album's got some of my favorite Led Zeppelin songs. As a matter of fact, my personal favorite Led Zeppelin song of all time at the moment is on this album, which is No Quarter. I mean, some of the songs on here, I mean, The Song Remains the Same, The Rain Song, Over the Hills and Far Away, Dire Maker, I don't know how to say it, whatever. No Quarter, The Ocean, Dancing Days. I mean, this album is just amazing and highly underrated album. You know, a lot of people obviously think it's good, but not enough people think it's maybe the best, and I think it's their best album. It's my personal favorite, so House of the Holy is amazing. So yeah, that is my personal top 5 list of my favorite Led Zeppelin albums. I mean, they have so many good albums. The one that just missed the cut was Led Zeppelin III, but I would not be surprised if Led Zeppelin III and Physical Graffiti trade spots in the next week or two, even, because, I mean, well, I just love Led Zeppelin III as well, so, but Physical Graffiti, I think, got some bigger songs on it, so that's why I have it number 5, but like I said, those two could easily change, so yeah. That's my list of my personal top 5 favorite Led Zeppelin albums. Thank you all for watching, and more videos will be up in the future. Thanks for watching.